Hello, Emerson. Could you give a short introduction about yourself?
Hey, Ruckus, how are you? Thanks for the invite. My name's Emerson. I've been in the real world for a little over 4 weeks now.
hmm And what have you done in those 4 weeks? And what brought you to the real world?
Well, I came to the real world to draw my own conclusions about the platform and see the added value that the real world had to offer. Like anybody else, I come from a traditional background, traditional schooling, so I always like to think outside the box. This was one of the forums where I thought would be beneficial to see uh, what everybody else had to offer. That's what motivated me to come here.
Right. Were you hesitant to join at first?
Quite frankly, yes, I was. Just because of what the mainstream media had portrayed about the real world and Hustles University, et cetera. So I wanted to draw my own conclusions as far as what the platform offered, what Andrew and his circle of influence is all about, and it's been nothing but positive.
So, what did you get into when you joined? And was it different from your expectations initially?
Yeah, it was. I thought the platform was gonna just be a set of uh, uh, modules and pre-recorded tapings and that type of thing. And it turns out that there's a lot of material, there's a lot of lives, there's a lot of AMAs that we can jump into. So that I was surprised by that.
hmm Yeah. And what did you get into?
I got into the business mastery because it made sense with my background, and the creative content is was what interested me. I thought there was going to be added value there with everything else that I have going on.
hmm So, you said business mastery because of your background. How much of that can you
Sure.
reveal? Are you comfortable revealing?
Sure, like most people, I came up in a traditional manner, traditional schooling and university, um, and I took some. I went to business school, but I always look for people and other platforms that can add value to that. You're not going to get everything from traditional schooling, so business mastery was a fit for me from the go. That's why I joined that campus.
Okay. And in terms of wins, was it from business mastery or content creation?
No, I think a combination of that.
Okay.
I think business mastery uh, kind of validated a lot of what I was already doing, but it added the sense of not overthinking and the speed to market. The speed to market concept made a lot of sense. And sometimes, if you come from a traditional background, you seem to overthink things.
Mhm.
And the concept of money in first, money in quick, speed to market kind of jived and made a lot of sense there for me.
Okay. So explain how they both contributed in those 4 weeks. What did you do? How did you apply the lessons from both campuses?
I launched Optimizeit.io, which is an SEO company focusing on owner operators of small businesses. So the concept came up during the business mastery, especially when I got into the financial wizardry part of the course. When we said, hey, it is about speed, you know. So I took what I've learned as far as terms as creative content and how it appeals and added to the website design, right?
hmm
And some of the methods of just going with it from the business mastery, the speed to market, and test as you go. You know, create a platform where there's a point of sale where you can get money in. So those ideas clicked. So I went through the AI generated some of the AI generated content, which made a lot of sense, and that sparked up ideas that I already had going for how I wanted the site and the launch to be. And those two combinations allowed for the speed to market and some of the creative stuff that I launched during this time.
Interesting. Okay. And outside of the AI lessons, did you go into any other of the lessons within content creation?
The content creation essentials, right, or the basics,
Mhm.
I thought was very good from Premiere Pro, which I never got exposed to. I mean, I have a video that I taped and cut and edited, which I never done. Stuff like that I would have outsourced. And there's a product line that we're going to come out with, which I taped the footage. I went into CapCut and cut it. I put titles on it like that. I would have never done that if I didn't go through the creative content essentials. Pope, the value that Pope puts into that campus is tremendous. It's amazing.
Mhm.
If I were to go anywhere around online to look of how to get into CapCut and learn how to edit or Premiere Pro, it would take me forever. It really would. But the ability to go on campus to have that knowledge, the creative knowledge already here is priceless. That right there really blew me out of the water. Where he's a true professional. I over the last 4 weeks, I tremendous respect for the Pope and for Arno. By the way, the courses that Lord Knox has under the captain courses, everybody should take that. That basically right there was all of my business schooling wrapped up in a nice little package with the bow and said, here you go. You take this today and apply it, and you're gonna save so much time and so much money that exactly high level topics, business topics that he broke down really simple and made it really understandable. So yeah, I was really impressed with that. It has been nothing but added value.
Right. And yeah, that answers my usual question that I ask of how different is the material within the real world compared to what you can find out on the internet. So yeah, that was very
Right,
well put
there's
about
no
even
fluff.
with us.
There's no fluff. It's straight to the point, exactly this snippets of what you need to know. And that's what's impressive about the professors that I've met on virtually. They take some very high level topics and then break it down simply so you can understand. So the students can understand, right? We say students.
And now moving on to the community. Have you interacted with people in the community? Have they had any kind of impact on you?
Sure. Yeah, I think it has. I think it cleared a lot of misconceptions about what the platform is about, right? I think it reaffirmed a lot of some of the skills that I've been already applying to some of my brands, right? And it helped me kind of motivate me. I feel really inspired by a lot of the young G's on campus. I feel really inspired, and it kind of reignites this fire of this entrepreneurial spirit, right? There's a lot of entrepreneurial. I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs, right? You motivate young people to be entrepreneurs, and that motivates me, and I feel that impact, and then a sense of urgency too. If I have an idea, instead of overthinking the idea, the speed to market, money in, and creating that availability for customers to navigate and pay you for a product that you're offering is the trial. So that concept, staying true to the concept of speed to market and money in, makes a lot of sense for me.
Mm-hmm. All right. And considering everything that has happened in those 4 weeks, how different is your average day now compared to a month ago?
It hasn't been different. My days usually start at 4:30. I have a traditional employer that I'm responsible for giving 3 days out of the week for. So my days usually start at 4:30 in the morning, and it goes until 7 when I have to go to work. And then the other days I dedicate to Optimize.io, which I just launched, and kind of developing that and get that going and clients in. So a lot of my time that I spend here at my home office, I deal with prospecting and lead gen, and I try to make sure that we can subscribe to the plans that we have on Optimizer.io.
Mm-hmm. And what was the biggest challenge you faced when you were implementing the lessons of either the content creation or the business mastery?
Specifically staying within the model of money in first. So how can I build a site and be conservative and not spend any money while not having any money in? And that was challenging. I already had some subscription in the back end that facilitated that, where I was able to launch without spending any money out of pocket. Um, that was a real challenge. The branding and everything else, I stuck to what was suggested in Business Mastery, and same thing with the point of sale. We already had it established, so I didn't have to spend any money out. But I'd say if there was a challenge, it would be investing in some type of platform for a website, and we already had that in place.
Okay, I see. And what would you say for the insights that stand out most? I know you said speed. You mentioned quite a few times. Have there been any more that you could talk about?
I mentioned the captain's lessons with Lord Knox,
All right.
which I found very valuable. It's kind of a business school in a box. It's high level topics, really simplified well. The social skills series that Arnold has produced are great, because everybody needs to understand how to socialize and speak and how to network with others. So that has been added value there. And everything that the Pope is putting out on the creative campus is golden. Um, from understanding AI, which prior to coming on board, I didn't have a real understanding of how AI worked. He looks at Chat GTP. He looks at all of the other AI platforms that are out there with imaging that's really been valuable, which I would have never been exposed to at this level if it weren't for the creative campus that Pope runs.
Right. And yeah, Pope is just always online, always working. Like
Always.
sometimes I randomly come in, I see an AMA, or like I go
Oh, no.
into a chat to check something, and the last message is always Pope. Even though there's constantly messages coming through, it's always Pope last message.
And he's always available, and
Yeah.
he's always there, and he's very approachable. He comes across very approachable. Uh, easy to listen to, and you can shoot him a message and he'll respond. I posted the win in the wins column, and right away I received a response from him and from you as well, Ruckus. You've been very responsive, and thanks for the invite to sit for this interview. It's been a pleasure, really.
I liked your application. Usually people don't send in like video applications, so that was nice.
And this is fairly new for me, right? So being in front of a camera, listening to those skills are invaluable, right? That's also part of added value from the campus, like being incentivized to get on there, to build a brand, to learn those essential skills that you're going to need in this modern day. We're going to have a lot of the meetings that I host to or that I'm on, they're virtual, and everything's moving into that space, especially with the pandemic. So my ability to feel comfortable in front of the camera and to sit with you is priceless, right? And that's added value from the campus too. Those essential skills that Arnold talks about, your ability to talk, your ability to get to the point, to be light, to be at ease. Those are all added values that comes from the campus as well, and that everybody can benefit from, right?
Right. Yeah, again, very good points. Thank you. And since you're on this trajectory now, where do you see your life heading in the short term, medium term, and long term?
Sure. I like to see Optimize It grow into a real brand. I like to develop and bring on more clients to get anybody with the site can get quality optimization and SEO. So in the near future, I want to grow that and bring in new clients into the company, and also continue to dive into other campuses. There's a host of campuses in the platform that I'm still interested in looking into. Copywriting, for one, is very important. You got to be able to write well. And if you're dealing on the virtual side or online, or you're going to prospect, you got to be able to write, connect well. So I'm interested in the copywriting campus as well. So there's a host of stuff that I'm still interested in diving into, focusing on finishing business mastery, creative content, and then moving on little by little and advancing on the campus. Making money. The real deal is earning skills to make money, to be financially free, financially independent. What I want is financial independence for the long run. And a lot of the skills that I get from here, you can apply right away. And my goal is to continue to think outside the box, right? I want to continue to think outside the box, and the real world has done that for me. It motivated me to see a younger generation get motivated about entrepreneurial, right? Like finding that entrepreneurial spirit. All of the skills that all of these professors are offering on these various campuses, you can take right away and apply. So I was blown away by that. These are men that I've grown to respect over the last 4 weeks. I've grown to respect Arnold, Knox, the Pope, because I deal with them on a regular basis in the real world. I see the value that they add onto their campuses. So that's the goal, is to continue to think outside the box and take these skills and these golden nuggets that I'm getting from the real world and apply it.
All right. Okay, very nice. And how did you actually end up earning money? Did you acquire clients? Did you sell some kind of product?
Yeah, that's a good question. I've built a subscription model, which I've been a fan of. And Optimize it, you have different tiers of services. And I was able to secure a client to get into one of those, line of products, but then I upsell other services as well. So with the initial subscription base, I was able to secure a client through that. And then it turns out that client needed a complete website build out. So I upsold the service there, and then went on from there. So now, as we're building the platform, we're trying to bring in new clients. As soon as we work out the kinks of delivering service to this first client, we can onboard clients faster, right? And that's how we were able to generate close to $1,300 a month. And it's $1,200 a month now, every month, until we bring in new clients, and then we upsell that client, and it comes every month. So the subscription model for me, that's where it's at, to where we can lock a client in and provide quality service. And then whatever other lines of services that we have under our umbrella, we can upsell there.
All right. So it will be interesting to see how that scales for you when we do the follow-up interview, see the progress on that.
No, it'd be great. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And now, what kind of an effect has Tate had on you, if you'd be comfortable revealing that?
Yeah, I'm comfortable revealing that. Andrew has a massive following, right? That's what you notice first. Men like Andrew, Jordan Peterson, Rogan, those guys have massive influences, right? What was appealing to me about Andrew was what I disagreed with on mainstream media, right? This is a guy who has his house in order, is independent. What's being portrayed in mainstream media just didn't fit. I wanted to see what that is. I haven't met him, and hopefully we'll get an opportunity at some point. But I wanted to draw my own conclusions of what he had to offer within the real world. And right now I have nothing but respect for him. The influence that he had on me was just being genuine. I wanted to make sure that our values aligned, right? I have a passion for working with young people. So I have a passion for working with small business. So does he. So the ability to do philanthropy, right? I want to be in a position someday to do philanthropy. So not about what he has said, but what he does. I look at a lot of what people do and their actions, right? A lot of things can be taken out of context by anybody, right? So what was appealing for me about Andrew was his massive influence, for one, which is impressive that he built that in a short amount of time, over a period of time, but also to get the truth. This is in the real world, you interact, he puts out messages, he's always online. Um, but the most important part about this was is that some of our goals align, right? And that's why what I can say about his influence. Uh, not that he was directly influencing me, but his actions aligned with mine, and that was one of the motivating factors of coming onto the real world. Right? Is he a man of action? Right? And I can say that absolutely for sure. I have a tremendous amount of respect of getting to know what he puts out in the real world, and then you can see it in his circle, the professors that he has around him, the professors that he brings into the real world. If he puts these men that I've already said that I have built respect for over the last 4 weeks. Everything that all of the professors have been saying in the real world is valid. There's no fluff. There's no misconception about what's being said, and that speaks a lot about the person that he is, of the people that surround him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't say influence directly, but his actions kind of connected with me. You know, his goals of being independent, financially independent, right? Of creating generational wealth. That those concepts spoke to me, right? And those were motivating factors to get to know him better here in the real world, to get to know the people that he surrounds himself in the platform. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Very well put. I like that. And with all the value that is offered from the real world and from everything that Andrew's doing, why do you think the real world is priced at $50 a month? Again, for all the value it's giving.
Sure. I think the barrier to entry is low. There's nothing. $49.99. The amount of value that you're getting from true professionals is tremendous. You know, I think it's a good starting point for anybody who wants to benefit from the advice of these professors. I thought it was a fair value. I think it paid for itself over the last 4 weeks. I've gained a lot of insights and I validated a lot of that I was already doing. And it's a good price point internationally, I think, for somebody to who wants to experience the real world, build something for themselves. It's a lot more expensive with any other products or any other platforms. You're going to spend a lot of money just on a business mastery course. An example of a business school. You're going to go to business school. You're going to spend a lot of money, and you're going to come out with some things that you can't apply right away because maybe you didn't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for $49.99, you take Arnold's business mastery course and some of the captain's lessons, and you're going to take high level topics being simplified into where they're actionable. You can apply it. You can apply it right away. You're not going to be able to understand these topics in a 2.5, 3 year period, or months of an online course, or you're going to have to go to a brick and mortar to gain some of these skills, to learn some of business topics that it's covered within business mastery. So, yeah.
So for people who are unsure about joining the real world because they're still thinking, what if it could be a scam for the $50? What advice would you have to them?
Bro, you blow that on your girl. Spend the $50. Get in here. get to work, apply the skills and the little golden nuggets that are dropped. You will make money. You will succeed. You will build a brand that you're proud of. You will build a business that's going to have longevity. But you need to take this and apply it. Spend the $50. If you don't like it, move on. But I'm telling you, it's well worth it.
All right. Okay, so Emerson, thank you very much for your time and for your insights. For people who want to find out more about you or contact you, where can they do so?
They can visit us on optimizeit.io and learn about all of our services there. You can email me there as well. I'd be more than happy to get back with you with any questions that you may have about the real world or anything else.
Perfect. So yeah, I look forward to doing a follow-up to see how your company scales, if you end up doing other things as well.
Sure.
And just to check up on your progress, hold you accountable. That will be in about 3 months or so. So until then, I wish you all the best.
All right. Thanks, Ruckus, for the invitation. It was a pleasure. And I look forward to growing and scaling my business and networking with you and all the others on the campus.